Hey fam, welcome to my channel. My name's Mark and today I'm doing a video on Layer 1X and I'm going to be talking about the latest Twitter posts put out by the official L1X account. Now you may have noticed there hasn't been any blogs put out in the last week or two, and I think we can all understand the reason for that is because they're going through a lot of resources trying to get us launched and live, and there's a couple of delays. One of them is the data sanitization and the vesting, or if you're in the public sale, maybe you want to opt out. And then the other is the centralized exchanges, where we're going to go live on 2 immediately at launch. And I think trying to bring all that together, trying to get it all working, all coming together in unison, so it all happens at the same time. I think that's where there's probably been a little bit of a delay. And I think one of them reasons is, like, it's not a project, it's a blockchain, and it's not an EVM blockchain either. So it's not like they've done it before. It's just standard. It's not it's different code. It's a different virtual machine. So I think there's a few more technical aspects to it, which maybe the exchanges didn't foresee. They didn't really expect any issues because maybe they didn't look too deeply into Layer 1X before they were going to connect it up. And I think it's probably realized that it's more complicated than initially thought. And I think there's a lot of resources being helped from the L1X side to kind of work with the centralized exchanges to make sure that L1X can go live. And I think come Tuesday, when we get the update, hopefully all this has been ironed out, all this has been sorted, and we're going to get a launch date which is 100% confirmed, which then I can do a 24-hour launch date the day before, which then rolls straight into the launch, and yeah, we can all move forward from there. Now, as far as the sanitization goes and the vesting, I know we're up to 60%. We might be higher than that now. Now, if the centralized exchanges come on board, I do believe they'll probably just give a date where we're going to launch, and it's up to people to obviously get sanitized and get vested or opt out in that time period. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't matter too much. I mean, it just means you're going to be delayed in when you start your cliff and then receiving your tokens, but you're still going to get them. It's just you're extending the time to when you can start receiving them. So, but yeah, that's my view on that anyway. So let's jump down to the first tweet, which is this one. We're in. Voting kicks off May 1st. Let's rally together and vote like crazy to get Layer 1X on KillerWhales TV, the hottest reality TV show out there. Now, I think a lot of people love watching Shark Tank in the US. And KillerWhales is basically the crypto, the Web3 equivalent of that, where you're getting all the innovation from different projects coming up onto the show, pitching their project, pitching their ideas, and hopefully satisfying the judges. Now, the judging panel, this is where KillerWhales is massive for exposure. You've got the king of X Spaces, Mario. Like, this guy can bring an audience of 100,000 plus into his spaces. He's basically been coined by Elon in his show like citizen journalism. I think it was kind of brought to fruition through Mario Spaces, and I was in the space when Elon was in, and he basically coined citizen journalism in that space, and it was all because of Mario and how he was bringing like the source of truth into the space live where you can debate. And yeah, so he's on the show. That's huge. You've also got Ran Newer from Crypto Banter, you've got Crypto Wendio, you've got the altcoin Daily Twins, plus many more. So getting L1X onto that show is going to be huge. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think that Layer 1X is going to be well known in the Web3 space by the time KillerWhales video production starts for season 2. But I do think, even though we're going to be well known by then, this is massive exposure because it's getting Matthew, Mike, Kevin, maybe. It's getting the core team in front of, in person, having conversations with like the Mario, Ran, Crypto Wendy, the altcoin Daily Twins. It's getting them in a room with them. So this is massive. But yeah, again, I do think by the time this goes live, Layer 1X will already have a bit of network effect where I think a lot of people are going to know about Layer 1X, depending on when recording starts. But yeah, it's huge. So the next tweet they put out is, so a quick question for you all. How does transaction speed impact your crypto trading decisions? Well, for cross-chain, I think this is huge. Like, this is absolutely huge. Like, I've swapped BNB to Matic, and it's taken like under 10 seconds. Under 10 seconds for a swap. And I think this is going to be key because right now there isn't really a fast way to swap cross-chain. Like, you've got centralized exchanges, which if you're doing it quick, it's still taking 2 or 3 minutes to, by the time you've sent it, changed it into, typically you've got to go into USDT or USDC, and the whole process it's bridgeless, so it's secure, but you're still using a centralized exchange and it still takes time. Now, if you want to go down the bridge route with like Stargate Finance, for instance, a Squid Router, or like other bridges what you can use, the speed is not very fast at all. Like, you're talking minutes, sometimes in the double digits, depending on what swaps you're doing and which service you're using as well. So, like for cross-chain swaps, this is absolutely huge. And I think it's going to bring a lot of adoption. And it's going to bring a lot of people over to L1X because, like, well, you don't need to use a centralized exchange. You don't need to use a bridge. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's safer. It's pretty much a no-brainer. And then, like, when you start going down the route of like gaming as well and different applications, different use cases, like having speed of transactions is absolutely essential because you can't be, for instance, if you're in a game, you can't be waiting around for a transaction to go through. You want that to happen as quickly as possible. So yeah, speed definitely matters. And for cross-chain, L1X have got that all wrapped up. They've got no competition at all. So this is the next tweet. Welcome to the next cycle where L1X is bringing native interoperability to the Bitcoin network, connecting it to the rest of the crypto world through seamless transactions. Now, first up, what's exciting is the Bitcoin halving has happened and we are officially into the next cycle because this is like the starting point of where the cycle begins. So yeah, congrats if you made it. Congrats if you got here. If you've been buying throughout 2023, you're in a really good position, and hopefully you've got some good holdings now to take you forward into the bull run. But yeah, now this Bitcoin halving has actually happened. This is going to bring so many different use cases. A lot of them probably aren't even recognized exactly what they're going to be yet. But when you start looking at DeFi, you start looking at, I think the possibilities were your Bitcoin ETFs now, and where L1X comes in, I think it's going to play a pivotal role in how Bitcoin is purchased and maybe how it's stored as well. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to see what comes of this. And then the next tweet is this one. Be ready for the future of Web3 with L1X. Explore now. And this is showing you the L1XApp and the power of the L1XApp as well. Then the portals of L1X. Now, for those of you that haven't seen or not familiar with L1XApp yet, you want to go into the website, just L1XApp.com, and once you're there, you'll get a feel for it. It's an interface, but it's also like the precursor for the L1X operating system as well. Because once you make that full screen and you look at the layout of it, you do get a real operating system kind of vibe from it. So for me, this is kind of warming us up. It's drip feeding us the operating system. So like in 2026, 2027, when they release the operating system, we'll already be used to using it to a degree. So it'll be pretty straightforward. It'll be, the onboarding process will be a lot easier because everyone will be already familiar with it. And then the next tweet was this, the live L1X AMA, host your node with Kevin Coutinho. This was really good. This was a really good space because they were showing us how we go about hosting the node with the dev team. So if you've not watched that, I really encourage you to give it a watch. I think it's a couple of hours long. Not an hour and a half long, so definitely worth a watch. Already 2,000 plus people have watched it. And that's it. That's the recap for the last couple of days out on Twitter. So I hope you enjoyed the recap. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, and share it with as many people as you can. Bring as many people over and get them researched into L1X. And there's a chance where they can still get involved. Like if they're really interested, they missed the private sale, they missed the public sale, but you can still buy a node, and that gets you the public sale price at 50 cents. So until next time, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.